All right, guys, this one's a serious one. This is this is something that I learned more recently and have been noticing more recently. And I think if you guys notice it or you guys know this info, it will greatly improve your life. Do you guys sit there and feel a little empty inside? You feel like your day just goes by and you almost wait for vices. You wait to masturbate, or you wait to smoke weed, or you wait to drink alcohol, or hit your vape constantly, or tuck more Zyn pouches in, whatever it may be. You chug caffeine way too much. These things are because you have too much dopamine, or you overflow your system with dopamine, and so then you're left feeling empty, or you feel like a piece of you is missing, or you feel like you need more. You need more in your life, but there isn't any more. You can't get more, and you're always looking for something. This is something I understand more now, and I've been learning more recently, and more about recently. And I think it would greatly help you guys to hear this one. You need to understand your dopamine. You're flooding your system with dopamine that you didn't earn. Your body's dopamine is almost like its reward system, your motivation, your understanding for why you do things, and your want and desire to do things. When you flood it with unearned dopamine, your life starts to suck. So unearned dopamine would be like your brain feels dopamine when you work out, or you run, or you eat good food, or you have accomplished something. You've done something challenging that you had to think about, or you've really tried at something and finished or accomplished it. You've done a lot of homework. You've edited a video or a project, or maybe you want to make music and you finally polished and finished the song you were working on for really long. This will flood your body with dopamine. The problem is you can flood your body with dopamine with things that are easy. If you watch porn or you masturbate, it can fill your brain with the same amount of dopamine as being high on cocaine. And that's why all these vices are dangerous. You can feel like you've accomplished something. Your brain feels like you're doing something good and beneficial for your life, when really you're not doing anything good for yourself. You're hurting yourself. You're smoking weed and you're making your lungs more weak, and you're making yourself less healthy. You're making yourself more complacent. You're making yourself more unhealthy. You're eating more. You're sleeping more. You're doing nothing with your day. But your dopamine tells you otherwise. Your dopamine tells you you're doing a good job. You should keep doing this. We want to do this because every time we do this, we feel like we've accomplished a task. Every time you masturbate, it's the same thing. That's why post-nut clarity hits a little bit sometimes. It's because when you actually stop and think, you go, oh, I haven't done anything productive. I'm actually making myself worse. When you drink alcohol, it's the same thing. You're more lively. You're talking, you're flirting, you're doing whatever. You're partying, you're dancing. Your body feels so happy. Your brain feels so happy. You feel more fulfilled and more motivated, and you feel a desire to even drink again. But you know that that's only going to hurt your stomach and your other organs, your insides. Your liver is being attacked. And you know you feel sadder or more empty after maybe you've been on a week-long bender. If this is you, I think it would help you greatly to understand dopamine a little bit better in a way that can benefit your life. That's what this one's for. My point with this video is, guys, I think your dopamine should come more from earned things. You shouldn't just talk to girls and DM them and look at them on Instagram. You should actually socialize with females. If you want to have sex or you want to bust a nut, don't sit there and watch porn and masturbate and then instantly gratify yourself. Socialize with females. Take one home. Have sex. And although this might not be super duper healthy, this is healthier for you. It's healthier for your dopamine. It's healthier to build this habit where you actually have to work to feel satisfied. You have to work for that dopamine. You can't just get it. You actually have to work for it. I think this helps. I think most of your dopamine should come from work. It should come from delayed gratification. You shouldn't feel happy just because. You should feel happy because you've done something. You should feel more dopamine from natural sources like prayer, like going outside and feeling the sun on your skin, like breathing fresh air, like running around in some grass, like running in general, lifting weights, working hard with your body, thinking, meditating, praying. These things are natural sources of dopamine. When you sit there and stare at your screen and doom scroll and you watch endless YouTube videos and you do all this dumb stuff, this doesn't help your brain get a natural sense of dopamine. What you're doing is you're spiking and crashing and spiking and crashing, and it leaves you feeling empty. Whereas if you bring your baseline here, you don't spike and crash. You stay where you are. And then even if you were to jack off and nut and feel good, your dopamine would spike, but you would come down, and lower than baseline is still higher than you were. If your baseline is here, you'll spike to here and come down here. You'll always end lower than baseline if your dopamine comes from a vice. But if your baseline is here because you work hard, you have healthy habits, you do things right, then even if you spike it with a vice, your dopamine will crash below baseline, but your baseline is way higher. So even though it's below, it's higher than it was. And that's, I think, an important thing to understand. When you get natural sources of dopamine, your baseline for living is better. You're at a better baseline. You're at a better mood all the time. Your life is better. Your dopamine doesn't come from TV shows, movies, masturbation, porn, weed, alcohol. Instead, it comes from the gym, exercise, food, like good food, healthy food, work, brain activities like thinking, meditating, praying, reading a book instead of watching TV, making your coffee in the morning, and just sitting there without a screen, stop distracting your brain. Instead, live life. Your dopamine should come from you living your life, not from you passing time. You see, alcohol, it clouds everything and you pass a few hours. And yeah, the few hours is super fun even. It can be great. And I'm not saying never drink. If it's a group setting and you're socializing, it's the holidays, you're having a drink, don't drink to get drunk. Just have a drink, feel calm, relaxed, feel a good vibe, have fun. But you don't have to get smashed. When you get high, do it every now and then. Yes, it can elevate an experience, but make sure you're having a good experience. Don't just get high for the sake of watching TV and eating food. Do it, maybe you're on a hike and you found this absolutely beautiful spot at the peak of the mountain. Go ahead, smoke a joint. Enjoy your hike back looking at nature. That's a good use of a vice. Nicotine, I mean, I don't really dabble. I haven't really dabbled too much. I've taken like a puff of a cigarette. That's about it. I've never really dabbled in nicotine, so I don't know the benefit there. I know it can help you a lot, but I think if you have to rely on things outside of your own body and outside of your own mind and soul to be happy and feel fulfilled, you're doing something wrong in your life. And I think if we all have a better, deeper understanding of dopamine in general and getting it from natural, God-given ways like thinking, prayer, meditation, reading books, looking at the world around you, breathing fresh air, all that good stuff, working hard, then I think our lives can improve. If we think about dopamine coming only from working hard instead of cheating the system and getting these short fixes of dopamine, I think our lives will greatly improve. And I'm working on it. This new year, I'm going to start it. I'm not looking at porn. I'm trying to stay away, overcome that lust. I'm not trying to jerk off all the time. I'm not trying to smoke weed all the time. I'm not trying to drink. I want to focus on work and making my life more about the work that I do and really just push myself to work as hard as I've ever worked, to not have a bunch of free time, not do random stuff for no good reason. That's what I want to do with my life. So I'm going to start the new year dead sober, and I'm going to stop being sober when I reach 1,000 subscribers, because then I feel like I've earned these vices. I've put in enough work over a long enough time to earn the relaxation. Either way, that's my message. I think if we understand our dopamine and where it comes from better, we can improve our lives more. If we stop cheating our brains into dopamine and instead work for our happiness, we'll feel better and more fulfilled, and you won't have that sense of emptiness in you at all. I tried to make this one more clear because I feel like this one's really important. And the best way I can explain it, and I'll leave you with this, I'll leave you with two opposites of the same way, or I'll leave you with an explanation of two different ways you can get dopamine throughout the day. One way, you can wake up, you can instantly grab your phone and stare at your screen, and then you wake up and you go to the bathroom and you get up out of bed, you go to the bathroom and you goon to some porn, and then you're done gooning, so you come out to the living room and you play video games. Or maybe you have work, and before you go to work, you hit the pen so your work doesn't suck so bad, or you tuck a Zyn, or you smoke a dart, whatever it is. But you do it before you go into work. You load up on your energy drink or whatever caffeine. You go into work, you get done with work while you're hitting the pen, taking bathroom breaks, whatever, smoke breaks. You leave work, you come home, you play video games, you watch TV, you get absolutely zonked out of your mind, watch a bunch of TV, order a bunch of food like from McDonald's or Wingstop, whatever. You grub down, you watch TV, and you pass out, and you do that every day. It sounds great, but it sounds comfortable. It also sounds like you're not looking for a life partner. You're not looking for real meaning in your life. You're not looking for a deep sense of fulfillment. You're almost just passing time. On the other hand, you can wake up, you can immediately start meditating. You can pray, you can think, you can just read a book. You can get up and make a morning coffee to sip while you stand outside in the sun and meditate more. You start your day by hitting the gym You take a cold shower, or even just a shower in general. You really get in there. You scrub in your ears, behind your ears. You shampoo your hair a few times even. Who cares? You use up generous amounts of your products. You leave the shower. You go to work. You sit there and you do your work. You focus. You really do. It's a push. It's a grind, and it kind of sucks even a little bit. Maybe you love your work. If you love your work, then, you've already completed that step. But you go to work. You push. You get it done. You come home. You cook yourself a nice meal. Some beef, some eggs, broccoli, rice, whatever. You come down, you sit down, and you eat this while you watch a podcast, or maybe you watch a movie you wanted to see. You get on your phone now. Your day is winding down. You put on your blue light glasses so the screens aren't affecting your eyes before you go to bed. You want to make sure your sleep is taken seriously so you can recover for the next day. On this side, it sounds like you're being patient, like you're waiting for something better to come, but you're working toward building. You're working toward building a life that is full of health, full of gratitude, and you can actually build upon that foundation. So I think, guys, the point is just, so at the end of the day, guys, I'm just saying, I think you should look at where your dopamine comes from and really focus your day and life around being wholesome and not looking at vices or short ways to get dopamine, but really working at it, really getting dopamine from natural causes that will motivate you to improve your life. You'll improve because your motivation in your brain comes from work. It comes from thinking deeply. It comes from building. It doesn't come from, hurting yourself. It comes from building yourself. And I don't know. If this helped you at all, let me know. Let me know in the comments. If you want to hear more, let me know. If you want to hear about something else, let me know. Type all your thoughts in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. Let me know if I can help you in any way. And please, if you really did enjoy it that much, subscribe if you made it this far. Subscribe. It helps me immensely, and it means the world to me. So please do that. I want to hit 1,000 real bad this year.